Hello Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Tang and Barcode on Coda, the latter edition. Tang sent me this replay this morning, saying it's one of the best ZVPs he has ever played, and I tend to take him at his word because he submits very, very nice replays to my channel, for which I am appreciative. Before we introduce the players, I just want to make an announcement. Back when I had 300 subscribers, I asked the community what they wanted from me to give back to them, and a suggestion was made that we play mono battles. And I said, hey, that sounds like a lot of fun, but we never actually did that because it slipped my mind. Alright, so now we're over 600 subscribers, which I really do appreciate. Everybody who's watched my videos, everybody who's shared them, hit that like button, shared it on Facebook and Twitter and Reddit and all those great places, and Team Liquid. Again, you guys are all great, you're all my favorite, and don't ever tell anybody different. Okay. Alright, so sometime in the next week or so, we're going to actually do a mono battle. And watch my Twitter feed, /Falcon Paladin. You can watch the videos here. We'll announce it ahead of time and give you enough time to schedule out an hour or so to play mono battles with me. Hour or two, maybe. We'll see how it goes. I'll create a channel in Heart of the Swarm and invite you to it and all that great stuff. So, without further ado, mono battles are coming up. And in the top left of Coda, the latter edition, we have the Red Zerg player, Tang, from Team All Inspiration. A really fantastic player. Team All Inspiration is dedicated to doing a lot of coaching. If you do a search for All Inspiration coaching, you can find a place to go to make yourself a better Starcraft 2 player. And that's what you want, because everybody wants that, right? In the bottom right of Coda, the latter edition, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Barcode. Again, Barcode can refer to a Korean name that isn't showing up in the game. It can also refer to somebody who just typed in a bunch of barcodes because they want people to think that they are Korean, which can be a bit of a mind game. I think Tang is an experienced enough StarCraft 2 player. He's not freaked out by this, and instead he's just going to treat our blue Protoss player like any other blue Protoss player and try to kill him. Alright, so scouting out is this probe, sees exactly what's going on, sees no gas being taken by Tang, so a gasless opener, which is a little bit interesting. I do like to have gas just because I like speedlings. They're probably my favorite unit in the game. I like to feel safe against early zealot harass and stalker pushes, just because slowlings are good against zealots, but really kind of terrible against stalkers. So we'll have to see. Nope, that's actually not an extractor. That is an extractor trick to get 19 workers or 19 army available out of 18 food supply. Because what? He's making a couple lings instead. So he's going to make exactly 2 lings, send them across the map here. The Overlord does scout out. Okay, so the Overlord sees there's a Nexus. It sees that there's really not any crazy 4-gate pressure coming in, which means Tang feels, confident in not getting that Vespene gas that he otherwise might need to hold off some kind of crazy all-in. But again, you don't really see one-base all-ins from Protoss that much. 4 gates were super powerful in Wings of Liberty for a while, and then everybody kind of figured it out, and that was the end of that. So either way, like I said, these lings coming down to scout things out. Has Tang taken any gas yet? No, he's waiting on that second base to pop. I think maybe then he'll go. It's 18 to 21 Harvesters. Chrono Boost is a really good spell that Barcode is making ample use of. Here come the lings for a bit of harassment. Again, 2 lings against this many probes? No, I don't think it's going to happen. This is actually buying a lot of mining time, though. Barcode pulling a lot of probes off the line to deal with these guys. An excellent reaction time from Tang as well to get the lings out of there before they die to these probes, because probes, again, do kill lings fairly well. You'd be surprised, especially this number. A Zealot pops out of the gateway to try to deal with his harassment, and yes, actually picking up a probe kill and going to get another one? No, unfortunately, as Zergling stays there a little bit too long, the Zealot swipes at him and manages to kill it. This guy's down to the red health. He's trying to dodge around and maybe try to kill another probe before anything too bad happens. Boo, gets chased away again, is actually still alive. Swinging back around, and nope, the probe comes out to kill him. But based on the amount of mining time that was lost by Barcode and the fact that there was a single probe kill, that is actually a pretty nice pickup there with just 2 lings from Tang. So again, he's been droning up back at home. Does he have any gas yet? Yes, he has a single Vespene geyser extracted, all of the Vespene gas being extracted out of there with his first 100 gas. Let's see what he gets. Up to 92, up to 96, and 100, and immediate lair after that 100. Okay, so he plans on not using speedlings at all. I think this is probably going to be more of a roach play. because of the fact that, again, he just basically completely skipped over that Ling's speed. So he's saving the gas for something else. Might be Hydra's as well. And we're getting an evolution chamber. Okay, he likes the upgrades. Upgrades are fantastic, especially against Protoss. Just kind of holding the Xel'Naga Watchtower is this Speedling. Back in the Protoss base, we are researching Warp Gate. Again, everybody needs that. A Zergling comes up to scout, gets sliced in half by that Zealot. Gateways are coming up, fairly standard stuff. Another, a Stargate actually coming up here. So, Stargate, probably not going to go Mass Phoenix just because of all the gateways that are already up. And a Void Ray might be interesting, but this is okay, that's actually an Oracle. Yep, so going to be an Oracle. Oracle on its way here at the 7-minute mark. Might be kind of a strategy to lull Tang into a false sense of security that he thinks there's nothing from the air coming. He doesn't have to invest in any spore crawlers at all. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to get as many workers as he can. He's up to 44 over 39 compared to the Protoss player. So that's very, very good for him. But again, Oracles can come in. They do take shots from the Queen, but they can get a lot of worker kills before they finally shoot away. Queens don't do enough damage to them to really scare them. It's kind of like 1 or 2 Marines can actually hit an Oracle that's coming in to kill their SCVs, but it can't really kill it fast enough to prevent an SCV massacre. You need 5 or 6 Marines to do that. You really need like 2 or 3 Queens if you're going to do it just with Queens, or a Spore Crawler, and a Queen usually does a pretty good job. So here comes the Oracle swinging in from the right side, actually going over this creep, probably getting spotted by Tang. What's the answer going to be? Do we see any spores in the production tab? No, we do not. Tang not actually getting any spores. Here comes the Queen, again taking those shots at the Oracle, but 1 worker goes down, 2, 3, 4 immediately go down. Actually, a bit of a misclick there going on the Queen. Doesn't want to do that. Wants to take out workers. Instead, up to 7 kills and survives with its life. That is a hero Oracle. Well played indeed. Hallucinated Phoenix popping on out, just trying to see what is going on. And a robo facility. There we go. So the question is, we get to see observers from this. Eventually, are we going to see Colossus? Are we going to see Immortals? Based on the number of sentries I see, I'm going to expect probably a Sentry Immortal type play. That can usually hit around 11 minutes, be very scary for the Zerg player. But Oracle pops on in here, tries to see if we can get any more kills. Yes, 8, 9, 10, 11, yes, up to 12. The Queen again taking a couple shots, but 12 workers have died there. Throwing down a Spore Crawler. Tang has learned his lesson. He needs static defense to deal with this Oracle as best he can, and that's what he's going to do. So, third base now popping up. This timing is spotted immediately by Tang. So, okay, this does not look like an Immortal Sentry all-in, because that's going to be off of 2 bases. You're going to pretty much start pushing out right about now, about the 10-minute mark with these. Oh, is he actually supply blocked? Oh, no, Barcode is actually supply blocked, waiting on that Immortal. Is it being constructed at all? No, it's not. We have to wait for these pylons to finish. Oh, no, what a mistake there by Barcode. Unfortunate for him, for sure, or her. Overseer comes in, sees exactly what's going on. We're going to probably put a cannon here. And, oh, roaches try to pop on in here. A bit of a roach push by Tang, getting repelled immediately, though. A couple of roaches die. Reinforcing roaches come in and say, nope, we're going to back out there. We want nothing to do with this. These guys say, wait for us. We're going to come back home, too. The Overseer running away, because that was some pretty good force field micro there from Barcode, trying to save his third base here. Getting a cannon in the hidden position. Really good against Zerglings. Not really good against Hydras or Roaches. But, again, I don't know that Barcode knows we're really not going to see anything like that in this game. Zerglings are not on the menu. Gonna get the Hallucinated Phoenix. Yay, got the Hallucinated Phoenix. Amazing kill there. No real gas here at the third base, but both the geysers have been taken here at the second, at the natural, and the main base as well. So, 10 Hydras in production here at the 11-minute mark. Excellent play. That can actually be a good answer to a Sentry's Immortal all-in is Hydralisk, because if you can get him out in time, really hard to do. But look at this, Tang has 10 in production here at the 11-minute and 30-second mark, so a little delaying action. You could probably have Hydras out in time to deal with that, which is probably why we don't see the Sentry Immortal as much as we used to back in Heart of the Swarm. So either way, more Immortals coming on in. We're getting +2 weapon, yeah, +2 ground weapons on the way. +2 missile attack on the way, and +1 carapace for Tang. So again, he does like those upgrades, getting the ground and attack. Sorry, the ground and let's try that again. The armor and the weapon attacks for his ground units, both the Hydralisks and the Roaches, getting a glial. Nope, that's the muscular augments. So the Hydralisks move faster off of creep, which is really good. Creep spread is okay by Tang. I'd like to see it be a little bit better, but it's really kind of covering all 3 of his bases. Maybe some up here would be nice as well. But again, Tang is a better player than I am. Who am I to tell him how to play the game of StarCraft? Warp Prism actually on the way you might see some special tactics here from our friend Barcode. So depending on what happens there, we'll keep an eye on that. Pushing on out with Stalkers, with Sentries, with Immortals, with Zealots as well, and a Mothership Core at the 13-minute mark. So a bit of a push. I don't think this is intended to be a game-ending push. Although maybe it is. I don't know. Depending on how the force fields work, this could be pretty great. This drone here wants to take a third base, has the money for it, but hasn't quite done so yet. I think it's probably because Tang can see these guys on the edges of his creep. If we go to 1, yeah, I can see this whole army here. They didn't bring in a... Oh, they did bring an observer somewhere. All right, here we come. Roaches, Hydra swinging on the left side. Hydra's trying to get in here to kill that Mothership Core if they can. Sniping down Stalkers as well, but that's it. The force fields are too good. A perfect concave of force fields to match up against the concave of Hydralisks. Pushing out again, though. Tang wants to take this army down. He knows he can get it without those force fields. Sniping down a forward pylon there. Backing up to the Zelnaga watchtower is Barcode, and the pylon pieces roll into the ground and disappear into the earth. Oh! Whoa, a warping of Zealots here with that warping prism. I completely missed that. Good timing, but it looks like the Zealots are getting into this mineral line, trying to kill workers. Workers being pulled off to try to deal with it. A Queen going down. A Hydralisk is being focused down as well by these Zealots, and bam. It ends up dead, but I think this Roach and this Hydra is enough to kill it. Yep, gets exploded back. More Roaches popping on out. A big attack up here as well. Again, good force fields trapping a few Hydras in front so they get mown down. This is kind of the strategy for Protoss, is whittle down the Zerg army piece by piece by piece as best as it can. The warp prism here warping in units right next to this Overlord. I don't know if that was a great choice, but here we come, warping in Zealots and pushing them inside the warp prism for transport. Probably doing the same thing here as well, yes. But here come the Hydras. Oh no, Hydras immediately one-shot that warp prism. All the Zealots are lost. The warp prism is lost as well. Replacing this Queen here, replacing the extractor. Gonna get an inject? Yes, there's the inject. Tang is so good at his injects. The army moving up the right side for Barcode and down the left side for Tang. Is this gonna be a base trade? It looks like it very well could be. The Stalker is coming up. They really don't care. They can see this army taking down the pylon, recognizing what's going on. They want to kill this third base. Instead, they're going to be able to do it. A huge drone pull, getting all the workers out of there before this happens, before their home base explodes, splitting off some of the Hydras to this third base. A couple trying to get into the natural here. There are a couple, wow, actually a whole lot of sentries. They could probably hold this wall for long enough, depending on the range upgrade on those Hydras. Again, another snipe, but everybody is dying for the Protoss army here. This army is taking down the third base without really much any resistance whatsoever. And again, the Protoss army taking down this base, this natural for Tang extraordinarily well. All the Immortals are still alive. The Stalkers are alive. The remaining Hydralisks are trying to do what they can against this Blink Stalker army, but taking down 1 or 2 Stalkers is not really going to be enough. A nice blink back again. The Immortals get in here. Immortals do okay against Hydralisks, not really amazing, but again, all the Hydras are getting cleaned up. This base has now died, exploding, moving on up into the main base here, taking down that Stargate. It is a good old-fashioned base trade. The drones are pulled off the line by Tang, trying to buy enough time for these spine crawlers to finish, and they do. 4 spines are up, 3 spines are up, actually hitting fairly hard. The Queen gets sniped down, though. The spine gets sniped down immediately. Man, that's a lot of DPS with that +2 upgrade. Again, the spines maybe bought a little bit of time to deal with this. Broodlings pop on out, trying to kill what they can, but if they get sniped down as well. The Nexus for Barcode, main Nexus, is it going to go down? Yes, it does. Explodes or being revealed? No, because this Nexus is here. This hatchery is here, so both players have lost their mains. But they're not actually being revealed because they have bases elsewhere. Hydralisk Den gets killed. I don't think it really matters. Tang only has 20 minerals, 1 drone, and 74 Vespene gas to his name, leaving this evolution chamber here for some reason. Broodlings trying to chase down a sentry to kill it, but no, they expire before that can happen. So everything pretty much dying here. A couple roaches and a Hydra left here in the main base to deal with this. A single Hydra left here to deal with the stuff in the natural, and trying to save this this third base, rather fourth base, which is now the main base, is Tang, bringing up all of his Hydras and his Roaches, trying to see what he can do. And the same thing for Barcode, just kind of pulling back here, pulling back to this Nexus, which exists. Oh, this Nexus as well. There are 2. Barcode has a lot more money saved up than Tang does. And they both have 1 worker, though, so there's really no advantage there. Throwing down this cooling tower, allowing a little bit more protection for the space. There are still 2 huge ramps to defend, though. That is a lot for our Protoss player to deal with. But here we come, Roaches and Hydras. I think Tang recognizes he really just can't sit back and let the Protoss player tech back up. He wants to win the game now. Throwing up a creep tumor on this ramp. Does it get killed? Yes, it gets killed by the Immortal. I don't think there are any observers on the field. No, there are not. So any creep that's there is going to be there forever, unless Tang decides to kill it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Trying to move up the ramp again, taking a couple pop shots, getting on in there. The force fields look a little bit late. Photon overcharge coming down. There we go. Amazing force fields, catching a lot of those roaches and hydras out of the army. Outside of the battle, the remaining ones get force fielded in and end up dead. One of the overseers gets killed as well. The second one tries to escape, but does manage to do so. Another overseer has survived. What's going on over here? Spawning pool is still alive, so that's nice. But roaches in the front trying to tank what damage they can from these immortals. All the roaches end up dead. The hydras are all that are left. The overseers trying actually to take some of that fire, so it doesn't actually hit the hydralisks. The overseer ends up dead as well. Don't know what use it has. A few hydras here get left up in the front and end up dead, very, very sadly for them. So what are we looking at? We're looking at 8 stalkers against 7 hydralisks, a couple sentries there as well, and a queen. A queen could actually help with this. There's the queen. Moving on up is the queen, trying to get into the battle. A couple workers coming in as well. Tang recognizes I cannot mine my way to victory here. Going to try to snipe things down. Getting that probe was a nice pickup. Here we go, trying to snipe down stalkers, but they are being blinked back. One dies anyway. Another one gets the blink. All the drones are dead. Trying to take out that sentry, manages to do so. Gets a stalker there. Good pickup. There are only 2 hydras left though, but only 2 stalkers, and the queen throwing in DPS, moving back the wounded hydra, blinking back as best he can with that guy, and this stalker is forced to retreat in the face of this onslaught. Oh, another stalker is here though, and that stalker goes down. This one actually might kill the hydra. Yes, the hydra explodes, its corpse flies across the ground, and all that's left is this single stalker and this probe. This hydra and this queen are trying to kill this nexus as best they're able to. I mean, they just don't do a whole lot of DPS to buildings, but it's enough. And the stalker and the probe say, we're going to go kill some stuff of our own. We're going to base trade you, friend. This drone gets popped out. This is the only drone that Tang has. He doesn't have enough minerals to make another one if this one dies. But here comes the stalker. Oh, the stalker almost missed it, but comes up and does find that drone. Tries to escape. The probe locks it in, and it gets destroyed. How very, very sad for that drone. But all right. Here we come, Hydra and Queen again, trying to take down this Nexus by themselves, doing a better job of it than I would have thought, to be honest. Already down past all the shields, about half of its HP is remaining. Barcode says, all right, we got to see if we can do this. Moving on up with the probe, with the Stalker, tries to snipe down the Hydra. A clutch transfuse saves the Hydra. The probe goes down as well. There is nothing left at all. A single Stalker somewhere for Barcode. There it is. Why didn't he bring this guy too? Oh, he blinked away. He didn't actually die. All right, and that's it. Tang is victorious. Barcode has left the game with the GG, and that is all for today. So, wow, pretty amazing, down to the wire base trade there. Again, it's not always about whose buildings are left last. It's more sometimes about who has the bigger army left. And in this case, Queen Hydra actually beats single Stalker. So, well played there by Tang. Thank you again for sending that in. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. If you like what you saw today, if you like what you heard, hit that like button on YouTube, hit that subscribe to catch more of my cast, daily Legacy of the Void stuff, Heart of the Swarm, other stuff too. So, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and as always, you take care of yourself.